Everyone, so this is, now that we know how to graph, we're going to work on writing the equation of a polynomial. We don't get as crazy with these because it's a lot harder because of the number of roots and things like that. So we keep it like what is an example of a polynomial and not so much what is the exact one. It's still a little challenging. All right, which of the following order pair satisfies the inequality above? So try to figure this one out. I usually will graph it. You can do it, there's lots of different ways. So the first one has a y-intercept of 1 with a slope of 3. So 4. And then it's a solid graph because it's an equal sign and it is shaded down. And then this one, change my color. X minus 1 is greater than y, so -1 with a slope of 1. And then this one's going to be dashed, and it's going to be up. So that's the region. So let's see. It's not 1, 5, 2, -1. -1, 3. Did I do this wrong? I feel like it's right. -2, 1. I feel like it has to be this one. 2, -1. Because -1, if we just plug in, is less than or equal to 6 plus 1. That's true. And 2 minus -1 is greater than 1. Yeah, so it's D. Okay. Write a possible equation of this polynomial. What is the least possible degree? We don't have to do. All right, so what do we know about this? Where are the roots? The roots are -2, 0, and 2. Now, what are the multiplicities of each? So the multiplicity of the first one is 1. It goes through smoothly. Multiplicity of 1, but then what's happening at 2? It's got a multiplicity of 2. So those are the roots. So then when I write it, my p of x is x plus 2, right? We changed the sign. I need an x. I'm going to throw that out front. And then x minus 2 squared. Now there's actually, and then there's one more thing we need to include. What's the last thing we need to include? Since it is upside down, we need a negative in front. And then you can go through and multiply everything out. All right, I'm gonna skip that step for now. All right, same idea. Pause. What do you think the polynomial will be here? All right, so we have -3. We've got -1. And we have 4, and 4 has a multiplicity of what? 3, multiplicity of 1, multiplicity of 2, right? Because it's got a parabola and an inflection point. So that when we write this, we have x plus 3 squared x plus 1 and x minus 4 to the third. And then we could multiply that out. That would be pretty terrible, though. I'm not going to do that. I'll tell you if I want you to multiply it out, right? And then it says, what is the least possible degree? So what's the least degree? 3 plus 1 plus 2 is 6. Now, it could be more, right? We could have other things happening that we don't see on here that adds to it. We could have, like, some weird extra thing happening up there. But at the very least, it is a 6. And also remember, like, if you have an imaginary root, sometimes it doesn't really, you don't see that on the graph. All right. Here's another one. Pause the video, try it. So we have p of x equals, we have our -1, so that's x plus 1, change the sign, squared. And then we have our 2, x minus 2. What's the power there? That's a 3, that's an inflection point. X minus 4, what's the power there? It's a 1, it just goes straight through. Anything else we need to include? There's a negative in front since they're both going down. And that's it. So then again, the least degree would be 6. Again, it could be more, it could be an 8. We're not sure though. Okay, these are the ones that I'm going to have you write, actually FOIL out. Write the equation of a polynomial with roots 2, -3, and 4. So I'm not going to give you a point and say, make sure it goes through here. That's just too complicated for these. So pause the video, write this out, and then I also want you to FOIL it out, multiply everything out. So my roots are 2, -3, and 4, so that's x minus 2, x plus 3, and x minus 4. So for this one, I do want you to multiply it out, write it in standard form. So I do the first 2. You can either show all your work. I can do this in my head, so I'm just going to do it in my head. And then I'm multiplying by x minus 4. So I'm going to multiply by x first, and I get x cubed plus x squared minus 6x. And then I'm going to multiply through by -4. -4x squared, -4x plus 24. Combine all that together, and p of x equals x cubed minus 3x squared minus 10x plus 24. And honestly, this is how I made these problems. When I was having you do this is a synthetic division problem. I would just multiply it out. I had no other way to do it. Okay, so what if we had this? So pause, try it on your own. So this time we have our x minus 4. And then what do we do with the root 3? So there's 2 ways to do this. You could do x plus root 3, x minus root 3. That's what a lot of students do. If you do it this way, I would always say multiply out first. So you get x squared minus root 3x plus root 3x minus 3, and those cancel. So x squared minus 3 is that one, and then times the x minus 4. Another way to think about it is if I'm going backwards, right? X equals plus or minus root 3. Where did that come from? I squared both sides. X squared equals 3. So we had x squared minus 3 equals 0, and that was our factor. This way is a little easier. This is a nice, doing that like it always works. This way is using more like logic. Okay, so now I'm going to multiply everything out, FOIL it out. I got x cubed minus 4x squared minus 3x plus 12. And that's our answer. All right, a little more complicated. Write the equation of a polynomial with roots -6 and 2 plus I, 2 minus I. Now, if you're going to multiply this one out, or if you're going to do it out, be careful. So you always change the sign of the front. So when I change the sign of this is x minus 2 plus I, x minus 2 minus I. A lot of students try to put plus minus. That actually doesn't work in this case. The plus minus is with the I, so it's minus in both cases because that 2 is positive. So now this one's complicated. I'm going to go through and do this one first. So one thing I'm going to do is I'm going to keep those together. So I have x squared, and then minus x times 2 minus I, and then the inside minus x times 2 plus I minus 2 plus I, 2 minus I. So I'm going to take a bunch of steps here. X squared, I'm going to FOIL this out, or distribute, minus 2x plus ix minus 2x minus ix. So now notice those two cancel. Minus parentheses. What do I get when I FOIL that out? This is perfect. That's dots basically, right? 4 minus I squared. And then what's 4 minus I squared? That's 4 plus 1. Right? So we get x squared. These two combine, minus 4x. The i's cancel, plus 5. Now all of that has to be multiplied by x plus 6. Right? Like I said, this is the complicated one, right? This is the challenge problem. All right, so now we're going to FOIL that out. X cubed, 4x squared, 5x, 6x squared, minus 24x plus 30. And all that combines to x cubed plus 2x squared minus 19x plus 30. So another way you could think about this, if you want to, x equals 2 plus or minus I, right? If we want to think about this the other way, instead of, this is a lot of work, right? Bring the 2 over. We're doing the opposite of solving. X minus 2 equals plus or minus I. Square both sides. X minus 2 squared equals, I squared is negative 1. X squared minus 4x plus 4 equals negative 1. Bring the 1 over. So that's the other way to get that. It's a little, I think it's faster. It depends on which method makes more sense in your brain. All right, same idea. Try this one. And again, we are multiplying out. All right, so we have x minus 7, x minus 5, and then we have 4 plus root 2. So that's x minus 4 plus root 2. That's weird, though. What's weird about that? There's no minus. Shouldn't there be a minus? There should be. So they will give that to you, and you have to know, oh, it was supposed to be plus minus. I have one more. X minus 4 minus root 2. Right? So you need to be able to do that. So now I think this is too hard. So what I'm going to do down here, I'm going to show you again. I think this is just easier. So I'm just going backwards from solving. So I'm going to subtract the 4. And then I'm going to square both sides. I'm just doing the opposite of what I did before. Square root of 2 squared is 2. This is x squared minus 8x plus 16 if you multiply it out. X squared minus 8x plus 14. Subtract the 2. So now that is all this whole big guy. Right. So then we have x minus 7 times x minus 5. You can either do a binomial times this and then another binomial. We could do a trinomial. I'm going to do a trinomial times a trinomial. That just sounds fun to me. Because this I know is x squared minus 12x plus 35. And then we have x squared minus 8x plus 14. This is going to be exciting. I haven't done one like this in a while. All right, so I'm starting with my x squared. So we have x to the 4th, 8x to the 3rd, 14x squared. Now I'm going to do my negative 12. Now I'm going to line everything up. So negative 12x times x squared is an x cubed. So minus 12x cubed plus 96x squared minus, oh, I don't know what 12 times 14 is in my head. Okay, that's 168. And it's minus 168. Okay, done with that one, and now 35. 35x squared. I forgot an x somewhere. Here, that had an x in it. Alright, 35 times 8. 280. Minus 280x plus 35 times 14. 490. So I like to write it like that. It kind of, so everything's lined up. So then my polynomial is x to the 4th minus 20x cubed plus 14 plus 96 plus 35, 145x squared minus 448x plus 490. Now, if you didn't like this method I used, you could FOIL this guy out. I think it's easier. I think this method's easier, right? So if you FOILed it all out, though, you do x squared, x times 4 minus root 2 minus x, 4 minus root 2 minus 4 plus root 2, 4 minus root 2, and then you'd FOIL that, like, then you distribute some more. All right, last one. This one's actually not as hard. Write the equation of a polynomial with roots plus or minus 3i plus or minus root 5. So this one's not so bad because there's no like coefficient in front. So it's x plus 3i, x minus 3i, x plus root 5, x minus root 5. Put those together, and what do I get? These are both going to be dots, so I don't have to worry about the middle term. So it becomes x squared minus 9i squared. What does that give you? I squared is -1, so that gives me x squared plus 9. Over here, same idea, x squared minus, the middle term's going to cancel because it's difference of perfect squares. Root 5 squared is just 5. Or, let's just write it out, root 25. Square root of 25 is 5. So x squared minus 5. And then I can FOIL that out. And I get x to the 4th plus 4x squared minus 45. All right, so if you FOIL that out, normally that's what you should get. And that is the lesson. We're going to have a quiz, not the next class, but the class after that. So we're going to do a day of like review and then the quiz. All right, and then we're done with polynomials. Have a fabulous day.